up the room, getting everyone in, getting the stream ready to be started, and we will begin in just a few minutes here.
Everybody just stand by. We're just working on the stream here. Just stand by 1 second. Okay, everybody, the stream is up. Welcome, everybody. We have Mitko from 1inch about to start a 30-minute workshop. So I'll just hand it off to Mitko right now, and you can save questions. You can put your questions in the chat. You can also ask during the event, or we can save them to the end. So at this point, I'll just hand it off to Mitko.
Thank you so much, Andrew. So welcome everyone. I really appreciate everyone to join, and I'm really happy to show you what one of the very important pillars of 1inch is, and we talk about today the dev portal. And it's very important, especially for you who are participating to the hackathon, which is a very interesting constellation because it's global and for everyone accessible. So very exciting for all of us from 1inch, what you will build. So what do I want to explain? Of course, I would like to show you or answering quite quick but very short what is 1inch. Then I will show you a briefly overview of some of the APIs. If I would go into much detail with all of them, half an hour would be definitely not enough, especially not when we also want to answer some questions. Then together with those APIs, I will also explain some possible use cases when you use them. And of course, very important, how can I start with the dev portal? So 1inch, very famous leading aggregator, is built and founded at a hackathon, and that's very important to understand. You have the chance to build something very great, impressive, also in hackathon. So maybe you could be the next one who get a really nice shout out to the world. Then here are some interesting numbers which we wanted to show you. So since we started the dev portal, which was in 2023, we had already till now 7 billion calls per month is the current average. Then we have a total of accounts around 56,000. The total calls at all are now counting around 125 billions and growing more and more. And of course, the traffic is also crazy and also growing more and more. It's about 300 terabytes. And I think those are pretty interesting numbers and impressive numbers. So we will present, of course, from next conferences, more updates to the numbers to see how it goes from our side. Then our supported chains. Maybe some of you are reading a lot of news about us. We already supported a lot of chains, but this year was pretty productive from our side. We released Sonic and Unichain as additional EVM chains, but The most interesting part from my perspective was a non-EVM change, because this changed a little bit the world, how everything works in 1inch, because it shows the capability of that we can adapt to something else than EVM. And yeah, let's see what's coming in the future. Here we have a small overview of our 1inch APIs, which you can already use when you use the dev portal. As I said, some of them I will go in with more details. But all in all, you can build really interesting products with just all those APIs. And as the title already said, you should even able just with our APIs to build everything, because we provide from APIs to just native node calls, everything what is required. Okay, let's go with the idea of the developer portal itself. Why do we have the developer portal? What was behind? We built something nice, what the people really liked. And at some point, we discovered we can bring even more value to everyone when we just give them the tools which we developed internally. And we proved ourselves and others that we built something really cool. And this was the point where we said, hey, let's spread it also and make it reusable for someone else. And this is how the dev portal basically was initially, yeah, the idea was created. And this is also where we wanted to push it to the world. Especially our know-how was very immense there. And we wanted to provide services on enterprise level as easy as accessible. So in most cases, as you call software as a service product. Already said, I released it in 2023. It was in July. Since then, we have a growing numbers in almost every category. We started just with 8 APIs, but now we have a way more. The first 2 months on calls, we had 1.5 billions. But as you saw now, we have a way more per month, just per month. And already, as I said, it's growing, which is pretty nice and not that easy to handle, but we scale very good. Let's go for one of the most interesting products. Some of them, it's the swap API. The swap API is basically with what we started is, we can also call it the classic swap. So you simply want to swap one token to the other one. The way how it works is we search for you, of course, for the best rate. Here's a small picture how it could look like. So we search based on the liquidity and a lot of different pools. Okay, where is the best chance, the best portion of liquidity for the best price? And at the end, you come up with a swap price and with a good result. This was the first one which we provided, and it was good, but we saw it's not just light in the world, we have also a little bit of darkness. And of course, we wanted to fight the darkness. And one of the problems with the classic swap is attacks of MEV bots. Everyone who had once this attack in his life knows exactly. They can be really, really annoying. And of course, gas price, the price impact itself, fade transactions, you paid already for the transaction, the gas cost, but it failed because it just didn't work out. And so there are a lot of issues. We just saw them, we just felt them. And this basically brought us to the next product, which is Fusion. Fusion is our intent-based swap. And here we try to eliminate everything what was really hurting us. And one of them is gasless executions. The second is the MEV protection, which is personally for me the most important one. And the third one, of course, that we have by design, limitless liquidity. And how it works, we will go a little bit more in detail to when you want to really deep dive into how Fusion and Fusion Plus, another product which I will mention later, works. We will have 2 dedicated talks about it from 2 very impressive developers from our side. Just look out, and there will be somewhere some talks about limit orders in Fusion Plus, how it works. So Fusion API, we say every time classless execution. It's confusing for some people, but the meaning behind it is when you do the Fusion execution self, you as a user, you don't pay for the gas, because at the end you just put it kind of a pool, and then we have really good professional market makers, and they take care of getting basically the rate you had as a calculation there. And they basically compete with each other, and they will do for you the swap at the end, and you receive the outcome which were promised to you. And for them, of course, it's not like that. Someone needs to pay for the gas, because we talk still about blockchain and how it works. But they are professional, and they know the risk, and they know exactly how to handle it. They know how to protect from MEV attacks and so on. So they basically take care of that. Nothing happens to them, and that you get, of course, the best rate with all this beautiful features under the hood. And that's exactly how it looks in a little bit detail. So the user is sending his order, it's stored, and then the reservers are taking it, talking with the blockchain, and giving you everything back what you want. Then the next innovation from our side was, again, we saw limits, and the limit at the end was, okay, we can do nice swaps. Oh, we get the best rates. It's nice, but I have some tokens on Ethereum, the other tokens on Base, but I want to swap now from Ethereum to Base. So that was a problem. How does it work? The old good word. We know about it. Bridges. Oof, bridges. So also for me, honestly, painful experience. It works, but yeah, it can really take time and so on. Yeah, we thought about it. What can we do? So we just simply developed an idea and then implemented it. And the idea was, could we then just use intent-based swaps also cross-chain? Is it working? So yeah, we delivered. We delivered a solution, and it's exactly how it works. A bit more technical because we had there some challenges, but we solved them. But also here, to understand it in more detail, I will just postpone it and really leverage you just joining the other talks. They will explain it exactly in detail how it works, and it's quite impressive and interesting, honestly. So I really recommend joining those talks also. There was one question from Palesh. Excuse me when I say or pronounce the names a bit wrong. So the question is, so intent-based orders is sent off-chain via 1inch API to 1inch, and then the resolvers who send submit the swap at TXN on-chain. Exactly. So via the API, it works in the same way. You send basically the swap you want to do to the Fusion, to the storage self. You still need to sign something, because we need to approve, of course, or the reservers need to approve to do it. But at the end, they are doing under the hood the whole work on chain, and you will get then the result back. But yeah, that's true. It's like a kind of a limit order. When I just go back, you see here, it's a limit order storage, and then they just grab it and execute it for you. Okay. So, so yeah, Fusion Plus is basically just that's also why the name is the next version of Fusion, but we talk across the chains. And the good thing is, and interesting thing is, it is not bridging, and you will definitely understand it more clear when you get the more information, the more details. So go to the other talks, and you will be really surprised how interesting this topic is, and the technical solution there. Then Something very interesting we have. A lot of people, they don't know that we have it. It's very interesting also why, because it's a core product which you need for almost everything. It doesn't matter, even if you use our API, some of the APIs, I mean, you need to talk to Web3 nodes, and we have it. So reading, writing functionality by design, just accessing the data on chain, of course, like Web3 nodes are working. We support fully HTTP WebSockets, every chain which we have. And even for Solana, we have the gRPC support. So feel free to use also our Web3 RPC API. The good thing is you just need one account and you can use everything. You don't need additional third-party providers like QuickNote or whoever. Then spot price API. This API gives you back the current price of a specific token. Very easy to use. You just need to tell us, or tell the API basically, which token you want in the information, and you get the current spot price back. Very easy to use and very fast. And we support any token you have there. There is a question from Ken Huang. Can API talks to test chains or just a main chain? So currently we are only supporting the mainnet. So no, basically no test chains in general from any other chains we support. So only the mainnet as you've wrote. Currently, I don't know if there are any plans because it's very complex. We work with so many own developed smart contracts. It's not that easy to provide them on test chains. But yeah, maybe one day, let's see. The another question is, seems current local environment only support Hardhat instead of Foundry? I don't understand exactly the question from Tony. I mean, Hardnet and Foundry, they're just two tools as I know, where you can just spin up something, but okay. Maybe this is based on documentation. So as far as I know, Foundry and Hardhat should work both in the same. Honestly, Foundry is a bit easier to use, in my opinion, so I recommend using a Foundry more. But I would also guess that it works also on Hardhat, honestly. Maybe we just wrote the examples in Foundry because we use mostly internally Foundry, just from the dev UX perspective. So I think it should be also working with Hardhat. But thank you to point this out. We will take a look so we can improve the documentations. Okay, then let me go to the next product, and then I will go back to questions. So we have the Balance API. Also, honestly, very famous usage on our side because mostly it doesn't matter which product you build. Very often you need to request the balance of a wallet, and that's exactly what we do. We have a separate API where you just do one call and you get the balance for the specific wallet. Very interesting here. We know about there are millions of billions of tokens out there. I don't know how many. Not every token is, let's say, a trustful token. So we also support a whitelisted token list. Okay, that sounds weird, but yeah, whitelisted token list. So we guarantee and mark the token which you will see if it's a whitelisted token, and if it's a whitelisted token, we guarantee that's not some scam token or whatever. So you can be sure this token which is there when it's listed as whitelisted, then it's all for good. What can you build at the end? This is, I think, one of the most used APIs when you build a wallet, because every user who is starting, of course, some wallet, they want to see, of course, the balance. So very typical usage for the Balance API. Then the token API itself, also interesting. often, of course, you want to show way more details about the token, and that's exactly where the token API comes. We have two token APIs. One is this token API, which gives you like more the basic information. The basic information you see here, like the current price. You see also the settings, so the decimals, for example, of a token. It can vary, you know, between contract between 6 and 18. The symbol information, then the rating. Some tokens, they have a rating. We have also additional another API. You will find them in a big API list. I will show it a bit later, a bit more interactive. It's the token details, and the token details API gives you even more information. Depends on your usage, what you want to use there. Then let's go back to two questions quick. You guys stop using hardhead. It's old and slow. Yeah. As I said, hardhead. We also more use Foundry. Thanks for the hint. We will adjust or improve our documentation. Thank you. I have had problems with generating RB via hardhead, but then this dependency and solidity have the generating via hardhead the API, yes, it's challenging. I also agree there. Also there, honestly, again, I recommend Foundry. Everything is a way easier. If you need support, when you logged in the Dev portal, I can show this also later. There's somewhere a small support button, I think on the left or right side, I can't remember. Hit it, and you will get help as up we can, of course. And we have very good, reliable support, so they will help you out. Okay, last question, and then we will continue with the portfolio. Can we talk about limit order protocol a bit? No, just because there will be a separate talk about limit order. So I really recommend, when you want to learn more about the limit order protocol and everything, just go to this talk. Maybe the questions are already just answered by listening to the talk. And if not, there is the right place to ask exactly a detailed question about the limit order protocol. Good. So let's go back to the portfolio API. The portfolio API gives you exactly the data you need to reflect not just some current prices or small graphs. No, it will reflect the history of a wallet. So when you want to build something for the user or for your product, where you need access to the history and relation of a specific wallet, that's the API you can use, and you should get there all the information you need. Then the next one is the history API. History API, that is a typical use case if you want just to show the history of a wallet itself. So which transactions were done. On the right side, you see a very good picture about some transactions from a wallet. This is exactly what you do with the history API. I just see from time perspective, I need to hurry up a bit. So if you want to see the history of transactions from APIs, just use this API and you get everything. Then NFT API, everything around NFT, get NFTs, also the image URLs to the NFTs. We have this API, you can just use it. Now to something where I want to talk about maybe 1-2 minutes more. It's security. We had already in the past that people try to use our product from Dev Portal in the browser as a web app. Don't do this. So our product is really focused on backends. So because you need to use an API key, you get an API key, and you should not leak this API key, because if you have the API key, what you can do, you're authenticated, you can do the calls. And of course, you don't want that someone else is using your API. So please use this API key in your backends. If you need to talk from the front to the backend, you can create proxies to keep it somehow in level, but mostly you write anyway your own business logic around everything. But very important, please keep your API keys only in the backend. How to start building? When you log in as a user, as a new user, you get the dev plan. This dev plan has a 1 RPS rate limiting. We changed this. So yeah, I just see this picture is a little bit outdated. So for the dev plan, we have 60 RPM, means requests per minute. Why? We got some complaints from users. Hey, we tried your APIs, but for one of the APIs, I need to do minimum 1 or 2 calls quickly so that I get that I can go forward. And that's true. We took it to our heart and we changed for the devs the conditions. So it's not anymore 1 RPS, it's 1 RPM. Sorry, 60 RPM. Sorry, 60 RPM. So you can do 60 requests per minute. When you calculate it down, it reflects, of course, 1 RPS, but you can do more calls in 1 second. But still, of course, you are capped into 60 per minute. You can do 25,000 web RPC calls, and you can do 100,000 calls in general to everything else. Of course, when you tested everything and your prototype works, just subscribe to our packages. We have some predefined packages which are strongly focused on swaps. So when you need swaps mostly, this is a really good offer there. Otherwise, we have also a custom configurator. You can configure your package as you want. Every product you can configure how many calls you want, how many RPS you want. You can completely configure totally free depending on your needs. So how to start? Yeah, so the SDKs are available in our GitHub organization. Every SDK is a public repository there. You can just access there. Go to our documentations. In the documentation, you'll find also examples, and you can start building. I have 1 minute left. I wanted to do also some interactive demo, but I think we need to skip it. Maybe let's see. So let's do it very quick. So we have this is the entry point of the dev portal. So I can sign in with my user. You can choose between Google and GitHub. When you sign in first, you need to do KYC. We have very often promotions during the hackathons, and ETHGlobal, they receive from us a lot of promo codes. When you use the promo code, you will be for free to use the dev portal for the period of the hackathon, period of time without KYC. After then, of course, the promo code will be disabled and you will fall back to the dev account, and then you need to use, you need to do, of course, KYC. KYC is for us important because we want to be compliant with everyone who is using our API. We don't want that people are misusing our API or transactions or whatever. So that's why we have integrated KYC, KYB, depending on your needs. So feel free to use it. For our demo here, I just want to show you how it would look like. So imagine you have done your KYC. Then you should see your dashboard. And in the dashboard, you will see also your current plan. When it renews, we renew, of course, every month, or depending on your payment period. You can choose between 3, 6, 12, and then change. You see your current usage, and here you can see also reflected the new changes. So you see here, I have 60 requests per minute for all APIs beside Web3, because Web3 is capped to 25,000 calls. So here both are listed and you can use them until it's full. Then we have the applications where you can see your applications. You can create different applications depending on your plan. You can create API keys then inside. Feel free to use this API key. I don't worry. I can can simply regenerate this key. And that's the point. You can very easily regenerate this key. So after the session, I will regenerate this key, and everyone who copied this, sorry, it will not work. Then we have some stats. So here you would see your stats. And very interesting also, we are gathering for you your statistics on block, how much volume you basically created. Imagine you do, I don't know, millions of volume, you will see it under this tab. So you will see based on your API, which volume was done on which chain you have used. You are able to see it here. It's a quite nice feature. So you don't need to do your own Dune stuff. If you use Dunes, it's basically to get all the statistic analytics on blockchain. We will do that for you. You can just see it here. And documentations, I guess for the biggest audience here, the most important part. You have a search here, but in general, you have every API here. As you see, there are a lot of APIs, and you can just jump into one of the APIs. Mostly they are pre-filled with an example. For example, our Web3 calls. You can just choose the chain you want to do, and then just try the click, and then you will see, oh, I'm not authenticated. Yeah, 403, complete the KYC. Okay, so what is happening? I manipulated in the database so that I don't need to do the KYC, but it's a way complex behind the scene. So yeah, was not a good idea. But in general, you will see here some calls, and then they will work, and also the calls will be directly counted. And the good thing is, if you have issues or something like this, or forbidden or unauthenticated, we don't count it, because of course it would be unfair when we count them as a call. But as you can see here, which is a good test, it's not counted. Good. Then let's go to last 2 questions, and then I would say we close this session. When can we get the demo code? This is a good question. Honestly, as far as I know, we handed them over to ETHGlobal. How they will bring it to the people, honestly, I don't know. Maybe Aubrey. I don't know if I look further. Maybe you have an idea. I don't know. So I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was double muted. I would ping the Discord and they can help you there.
Okay, let's do like this. So go to Discord, ask for the promo code, get it, use it. And the good thing is this promo code has, I think, 10 RPS. So you get for the hackathon 10 RPS and 500,000 coins. So even way more than the dev plan. Then what do we have else? Where to find aggregator protocol contracts repo? That's a good question. I honestly also have to ask. I'm not that deep. We have a smart contract team for this. I need to ask them if there is a specific GitHub repo. But as far as I remember, we have this documentation contracts. Look at this. Here's the documentation about the contracts. Maybe this is already helpful. Here you can find a lot of informations. It's not in the docs. Okay. Then I need to check. Drop this. Can you please drop this question also in Discord? We have there also some people from different departments running around. Maybe there's the right person who can directly answer to you. Okay.
Yeah, Discord would definitely be the best place for any more questions for Mitko especially. I also just dropped the link to this exact live so you guys can go ahead and rewatch this. And thank you, Mitko, so much for your workshop. And thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.